Level 1, the associate. You are 26 years old and you have just signed an offer letter for a first-year associate position at one of the largest law firms in the world. Base salary, $225,000. The number arrived in the offer email and you read it 3 times because you had spent 3 years eating instant noodles in a law school apartment and the number looked like a mistake. It was not a mistake. It was, you would learn, the price of something. The firm occupies 14 floors of a glass tower in Midtown. You arrive on your first day at 8 a.m. in a suit that costs $600 and feels cheap the moment you step into the elevator. The offices are enormous. The silence is total. The kind of silence that is not the absence of noise, but the active suppression of it. The silence of a place where everyone is billing and every unbilled minute is a minute that did not happen. Your practice group is M&A, mergers and acquisitions. The work is documentation, the contracts, disclosures, representations, warranties, and conditions that govern the transfer of companies worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You did not go to law school to be a document manager. Nobody does. But the documents are what keep the deals together, and keeping the deals together is what keeps the clients, and keeping the clients is what keeps the firm, and the firm is what keeps the $225,000 coming. You learn the billing system in your first week. You bill in 6-minute increments, 1/10 of an hour, the minimum billable unit. You will spend the next decade thinking in tenths of hours. A phone call is 0.2. A document review is 0.5. A client meeting is 1.0. A late night finishing a purchase agreement is 4.0. You keep a timesheet open on your second monitor at all times. You record everything. Your target? 2,000 billable hours per year. Your informal target, the one the senior associates mention in the same tone people mention the thing that is actually expected, 2,200. 2,200 hours billed is not 2,200 hours worked. For every hour you bill, you spend 40 minutes on work that cannot be billed. Internal meetings, training, business development, the administrative texture of the job. To bill 2,200 hours, you work approximately 3,100 hours per year. That is 260 hours per month. That is 60 hours per week if you work 52 weeks and take no holiday, which you will not. Level 2, the grind. You are 28. You have been doing this for 2 years and you have become someone you could not have precisely described at 26. You are efficient in a way that has rearranged your relationship with time. A Saturday morning is a billing opportunity. A Sunday evening before a deal closes is not a loss of a weekend, but a 6.0 on a timesheet. You have developed the ability to work at a level of concentration that most people cannot sustain for 3 hours across an entire working day. You sustain it for 12. The deal you are currently on is a $2.4 billion acquisition of a pharmaceutical company by a private equity fund. You are one of 7 associates on the deal team. Above you are 2 senior associates and a partner who communicates primarily through comments on documents sent at hours that make no concession to the existence of sleep. The comment that arrives at 2:17 a.m. on a Thursday says, "Please revise Section 4.7b3 to address the MAC clause carve-outs in light of the regulatory timeline." You know what this means. You know what it requires. You do it. You send the revised section at 3:44 a.m. The partner's response arrives at 3:51 a.m. Good. Now do the same for 4.7 C through F. You do 4.7 C through F. You send it at 4:38 a.m. There is no response until 9 a.m. when an email arrives that says, "Team call at 10." The call happens. Nobody mentions the 4 a.m. emails. Nobody mentions that you have been at your desk for 21 hours. This is not neglect. This is simply not the part of the job that gets mentioned. Your girlfriend, you have been together for 3 years, she works in marketing, she keeps normal hours, and has friends she sees on weeknights, asks you on a Saturday afternoon in October if you are happy. You think about it for longer than the question warrants. You say, "I'm good." She says, "That's not what I asked." You say, "I know." You don't say anything else for a moment. Then you say, "I think I just need to get to the next level and it'll be different." She says, "What level?" You say, "Senior associate." She says, "Okay." She has heard a version of this before. Level 3, the senior associate. You are 31. The title changed, the work did not. You are now the person sending the 2 a.m. comments. You have 4 junior associates on your deal teams, and you manage their work the way your seniors managed yours, with precision and without apology, because the client's timeline does not negotiate and the partner's expectations do not bend, and you are the layer that holds the two together. You are good at this, genuinely good. You have developed a quality that your law school professors described theoretically, but that you now carry in your body. The ability to read a 400-page agreement and find the clause that matters, the one that will determine what happens when something goes wrong, the one that everyone else skimmed past because nothing is going wrong yet. Clients trust you in the specific way clients trust someone who has saved them from something they didn't know they were walking into. Your billable hours last year, 2,847. That number sits in a performance review document alongside words like exceptional and partner track and significant contribution to firm revenue. The number itself, 2,847 hours billed, means you worked approximately 4,000 hours in the year. That is 77 hours per week for 52 weeks with no days off. You did not work 52 weeks with no days off. You worked harder than that in the weeks when deals were closing. You are paid $380,000 plus a bonus that brought last year's total to $510,000. You have a one-bedroom apartment you are rarely in when it is light outside. You have a savings account that is growing in a way that would have seemed impossible to your law school self and that you have not had the time to invest properly. You have canceled 14 social commitments in the last 3 months. You have a list of books you are going to read when this deal closes. The list has been growing for 2 years. The deal always closes and another one starts. Level 4, the golden cage. You are 34. The partnership decision arrives in November. A meeting with the firm's managing partner. An offer to become equity partner, effective the following January. You will contribute $400,000 to buy into the partnership, a capital contribution that will be financed through the firm and repaid from your distributions over 4 years. Your equity stake in the firm? 0.8%. You call your parents that evening. Your mother cries. Your father says, "I always knew." You say the right things. You feel something real, something that took 8 years of 2 a.m. emails and canceled weekends and a girlfriend who eventually stopped asking the question because she already knew the answer and made her own decision accordingly. You feel it for approximately 3 days. Here is what nobody tells you about making partner at a big law firm. The partnership is not the destination. It is a different job with a different set of demands that supersede the ones you just spent 8 years meeting. As an associate, you were sold on the basis of hours billed. As a partner, you are judged on the basis of business generated, origination. The clients you bring in, the relationships you own, the revenue that flows through your name rather than through the firm's reputation. You are good at the law. The question the partnership now asks every year is whether you are good at selling the law. These are not the same skill. You spent 8 years developing one of them. Your first year as partner, you bill 1,900 hours, down from 2,847 as a senior associate, and you originate $1.1 million in new business against an informal expectation of $2 million for a first-year partner. The informal expectation is communicated through the way conversations at partner meetings go quiet when origination numbers are mentioned, and your number is below the median. You work on it. You attend the dinners, the events, the alumni gatherings where you hand cards to people and follow up with emails that sound like genuine interest and are genuine interest, threaded through with the specific awareness that genuine interest is also business development. You become better at this. you will need to become significantly better. Level 5, the cost. You are 38. Your origination last year was $3.4 million. Your total compensation, $1.1 million. You have been a partner for 4 years. You are established. Clients call you directly without going through the firm's intake process, which is the specific marker of a relationship that belongs to you rather than to the institution. You have a house now. You bought it 2 years ago. It is a good house in a good neighborhood, and you are in it for approximately 6 waking hours a day. You have a cleaner, a gardener, a personal assistant who manages your calendar and who knows your schedule better than you do. You have optimized every logistical aspect of your life to reclaim hours for the firm. Last month, your nephew asked you what you do for fun. You thought about it with a seriousness that surprised both of you. You said, "I read." He said, "What do you read?" You thought about it again. You said, "Mostly contracts." He laughed. You laughed with him. Later, alone, you sat with the fact that you were not entirely joking. The money is real. The life it has purchased is also real. The security, the options, the ability to help people you love without thinking about the cost. You do not regret the choices. You made them with full awareness of what they required. But there is a specific question that lives quietly in the background of your days. Not a loud question, not a crisis. A quiet one, persistent, the kind that surfaces in the car on the way to the office and gets set aside when you walk through the door. The question is, what is the actual thing that you have been building toward? Partner was the answer for 8 years. You reached it. It was real and insufficient simultaneously, the way destinations tend to be when the getting there has consumed more of you than the arriving. You don't have an answer to the question yet. You suspect you will not find it in the next deal. You suspect you have suspected this for longer than you have admitted. You bill the day anyway. 2.3 on a client call, 1.8 on document review, 0.5 on an internal meeting. The timesheet is accurate and complete. Somewhere right now, a second-year law student is reading a big law offer letter for the first time. The salary number looks like a mistake. They read it 3 times to be sure. They are about to accept. They are going to arrive in a suit that feels cheap the moment they step into the elevator. They are going to learn to think in tenths of hours. They are going to bill 2,200 hours in their first year and 2,600 in their second and 2,847 in a year that earns them the word exceptional in a performance review document. They have no idea what the next 8 years will ask of them. The offer letter does not say. It never does. The number is the whole pitch. Right now, today, the number is enough.